Okay, I never got a decent... Oh, don't turn yourself around. You just hate it when your telephone turns. That's better. This is an Oliver Cromwell sketch that I wrote in a hotel room with my son Dylan on the... I wrote it at 4:50 a.m. on the 23rd of April. I wrote it direct to text after visiting Peterborough Cathedral that day. Hi, Lisa. So, I guess this is kind of, you know, if I ever live to do them, this would be an extra addendum into my, can't remember the titles of my own books, Extremely Unlikely History of the United Kingdom. Anyway, so, Peterborough. Further calamity befell in 1636 when Oliver Cromwell, inspired by his vizier claiming to have seen a sign in the ruins of Cromwell's hemorrhoids, ordered his army to burn Peterborough Cathedral to the ground, and lower if necessary. "It's made out of granite, sire!" cried his men in woe. A neighbouring village. "Yes, so's my arse," replied Cromwell, and sodded off to Ely to have a clay poultice applied. For 3 days and nights Cromwell's men attempted to raise the impressive edifice to the ground, but she was having none of it, so they returned their attentions to the cathedral. It proved impervious to their actions. Neither flame, nor bludgeon, nor sarcasm made its mighty walls fall. "Maybe we could cover it in a big tarpaulin and paint it green and tell Ollie it's a hill we found underneath the cathedral," suggested one of the soldiers. "Olaf, you're a bloody idiot," replied another, which hurt him greatly because his name was Steve. Forced to take drastic measures lest they draw the ire of a sore sphinctered Cromwell upon his return, his men employed drastic measures and called in a fearsome mercenary, Seamus O'New. Seamus on ya. Freelance slaughterer and children's entertainer. Party rates available. Please be very specific on the request form. No refunds for mistakes. "Who needs slaughtering boyos?" he asked in a thick Irish brogue and a lacy Scottish tweed. "That," they replied, pointing him in the direction of PE1. Unfortunately, auto text on the parchment caused it to come out as PEN1S, and Seamus got the wrong idea entirely. This is in 4 different texts. "My bad," said lead soldier Derek Todd-Walliger, and pointed Seamus to the cathedral. "Yous knows it's a building, right?" asked Seamus. "Yes," replied Derek, "and a bloody good fight it put up as well. Do you think you could turn it into rubble before sundown? There's a documentary about the plague on the tapestry at 9 p.m. and I don't want to miss it." "Well, this sort of thing can get you in trouble with the Pope. He doesn't like cathedrals being demolished, especially if he's in them at the time. What reason would there be for attacking it?" "Self-defence." "Self-defence?" "Yes, he started it. There we were, having a nice harmless picnic and knitting smocks as gifts for the monks. Cassocks. No, it's true." Kenneth Williams there all over it. "No, it's true. Anyway, next thing you know, up comes this cathedral and starts attacking us. Unprovoked aggression. My men had to put their nuns down and run to the dales for safety, and some of them were in no state to run, if you know what I mean. Well, okay then, there's obviously a good job needs doing. That's what we said to the nuns. So we'll leave you to it, shall we? Oh, if anyone asks, just say weapons of mass destruction. You'd be surprised how much you can get away with under that banner." Finds next text. Seamus set to work, attacking the cathedral from all sides. It wasn't easy. It was a circular building. He tried fire, he tried flood, he tried dropping an anvil on it from an Acme ballista, but the cathedral was ultra-resilient. The cathedral was ultra-resilient, helped by the fact it was a master of disguise, and it spent 3 days as a tattoo parlour before Seamus cottoned on. Enraged by the deception and the poor quality of his I Heart Mom tattoo, Seamus went full Tonto, which upset the Lone Ranger as he thought they had something special going on. Digesting 3 quarts of stale rat meat and a 9-day-old vole taco, Seamus waited until his intestines had reached meltdown and, unhitching his breeches and turning his back to the cathedral, he set light to a dysentery flatulence that had such force it reduced the cathedral to smouldering rubble in seconds, and it didn't do an unfortunate passing shepherd any good either. That was so bad I'm going to do it again. Bah! Seamus set to work attacking the cathedral from all sides. It wasn't easy, it was a circular building. He tried fire, he tried flood, he tried dropping an anvil on it from an Acme ballista, but the cathedral was ultra-resilient, helped by the fact it was a master at disguise, and it spent 3 days as a tattoo parlour before Seamus got on. Enraged by the deception and the terrible quality of his I Heart Mama tattoo, Seamus went full Tonto, which upset the Lone Ranger as he thought they had something special going on. Digesting 3 quarts of stale rat meat and a 9-day-old vole taco, Seamus waited until his intestines had reached meltdown and, unhitching his breeches and turning his back to the cathedral, he set light to a dysentery flatulence that had such force it reduced the cathedral to smouldering rubble in seconds, and it didn't do an unfortunate passing shepherd any good either. Final text. Later that night Cromwell returned and saw his orders had been carried out, or rather his orders had. "Good work, men," he exclaimed from downwind. "I like the way you have heaped brown earth upon the ruins as a final touch." Yeah, Mud nodded his men and made a mental note to invent air freshener. "Now let us be off," cried Cromwell, stepping over one stone. Stepping over a 1-stone elongated Irish mercenary. "For we have fresh books and sacred relics to senselessly destroy before I proclaim myself God of all England in the name of democracy." "Huzzah!" cried his men in joy, because slaughtering paid double time on a Sunday. Cromwell leapt upon his horse in triumph and screamed, "Ah, me arse!" in anguish, for the poultice had not worked. Standing up in the saddle to protect himself from the nodes of fire, he banged his head on an arch and fell off his horse into one of Seamus's curry cannonballs that had gone astray. "Now that's what I call karma," smirked the Archdeacon from inside the vestibule. "For the umpteenth time it's not called a vestibule," said the Mother Superior. The end. Copyright Paul Murphy, 2022. Thank you for your time. I wish I got through it all in one go, as I said to the wife on the honeymoon. Matron.